Alright guys, this is going to be my Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga movie review. This was something I was really looking forward to and I had a great time watching it. This is a prequel movie that is set obviously before Mad Max Fury Road, and it's basically setting up the story of Furiosa. Now this was a super interesting character in Mad Max Fury Road, and I was really wrapped up into the story in this movie right here, because it sets up Furiosa to be the badass character that we see in Mad Max Fury Road, and I just really liked the story. I thought the story was stronger than Fury Road, but Fury Road did do some things better than this movie, so let's go ahead and talk about it. We'll do pros and then cons. My first pro is Anya Taylor-Joy. I thought she did a really good job in playing Furiosa and making her badass. She doesn't really talk a whole lot in this movie, just like Max in Mad Max Fury Road. I feel like I've said Mad Max Fury Road like 15 times now, but whatever, let's continue. Anya did a great job, and so did Mr. Chris Hemsworth as Dementus. He was amazing as this crazy, like, lunatic of a villain. He's really badass, he's really menacing, but then at the same time, he's kind of funny and charismatic, and I just really like the addition of this character in this saga. Another thing I really liked about this movie was the world building. We get to go to different locations and we get to explore this post-apocalyptic wasteland a bit more in this film, which is a really good thing because the first movie, yes, you know, it's high octane, it's basically just driving the whole movie, but we don't really get to, you know, sit down and explore new locations, but we did do that in Furiosa. Now we gotta talk action because this movie is very good in that department. I would say it's just slightly below Mad Max Fury Road. I would say that movie's action was just slightly better, but this movie does have some fantastic action set pieces. There was one scene, I would say this is probably my favorite action scene in the whole movie, where it's like a convoy attack, and then these people, they have like these parasails or like kites or whatever, and they go flying up in the air, throwing explosives at the truck while it's going at a high speed. It was really cool. Then there was another scene involving Dementus and a truck and like a crane, another really awesome scene. And of course, there's going to be a lot of really epic car battles because it is a Mad Max movie, of course. The drama and suspense in this movie was very well done by George Miller, even though we know Furiosa obviously lives in this movie, but pretty much all the other characters, besides like a Morton Joe and his gang, you know, we don't really know if they're going to survive or not, so I thought there was a lot of suspense for a movie that we know how the next chapter turns out. Then one of my biggest positives that I have for this movie is the story. We actually get a pretty good story in this movie, which was a little bit of a criticism that I had with Fury Road. There wasn't very much to the story, it was a lot more visual. But this movie does give you a pretty satisfying story, like all about Furiosa's backstory, how she got taken as a kid, and then how she grows up in this crazy wasteland, and then ends up being the badass Furiosa. It was just a really enjoyable story, and I had a great time with it. I would say it's a better story than Fury Road, in my opinion. Now on to my negatives. Now my first one is I would say we needed a little bit more of Anya Taylor-Joy. Basically she shows up around the halfway point of the movie, which I was not expecting. I thought we would get maybe like a 15, maybe 20-minute backstory with the young Furiosa, and then we would have Anya Taylor-Joy, but that wasn't the case. We literally got the young Furiosa for like almost an hour, which I thought was crazy. And that's not to say that I didn't like it, because I really did like it, but I would say the movie definitely gets better when we get to Anya Taylor-Joy. I thought the child actress, though, in the first half was very good, but like I said, I just found the movie more interesting when we get to Anya's portrayal of Furiosa. My next criticism is I would say the movie needed a little bit more world building. Like, in 2 movies now, we've really only went to maybe like 3 or 4 locations. Like, we haven't really done a whole lot of exploring. Like, we got a lot more in Furiosa, but I would like to explore even more and get to know how these societies live and everything in different parts of the wasteland. And I know that would kind of take away from the fast-paced action movie that this is, but I think it would be beneficial to explore other places, slow down the movie just a little bit. Maybe they can do some Mad Max series or something that explore that side in showing the culture of the wasteland or something. But this movie doesn't do a whole lot of it because it's so fast-paced and it is a giant action-adventure movie, so they don't really have a lot of time to just sit down and show you how these different places are living. My next negative is that some of the visuals were not up to par with Fury Road. There was a few shots where you can definitely tell there's some green screen going on. I've seen some people like ripping apart the trailer, which I don't think you need to go to that extreme. Like, the visuals are still really, really good in this movie, just not as good as Fury Road. There was some shots, like I said, where you could see the green screen, especially in this one action set piece, the one that I was talking about with the convoy and the, like, kite glider people with the explosives. You could definitely tell some green screen there. But it really wasn't that bad. Like, it was noticeable, but it was for, like, a split second. It wasn't like a, a long sequence where you're seeing this bad CGI or whatever. Like, it was very, very quick. So I would say that's a minor criticism, like it's noticeable, but it's very, very minimal. Then my last criticism, I would say, is the ending. It kind of rushes to get it all done, and then leads directly into Mad Max Fury Road. And I think we needed maybe, 15, 20 minutes to wrap up this movie, because I thought Furiosa at the end would go and meet up with Immortan Joe and become the warrior that she is, that we see in Mad Max Fury Road, but we don't even get to see her interact with Immortan Joe, so I was like, wait, what? I just think it would have been beneficial to basically have her be set up as this road warrior, and then maybe, she goes to do like a mission or something, I don't know, and then you can really set her up for Fury Road, rather than just kind of wrapping up this movie very, very quickly to then lead into the next film. But yeah, that's my pros and cons. Overall, I had a great time watching this movie in the theaters. I'm going to give Furiosa an 8.5 out of 10. I still think Fury Road is the superior movie. I would give that movie a 9 and this movie an 8.5, but they are very similar in terms of quality. I just personally prefer Fury Road over this one, but I can see some people liking Furiosa more than Fury Road and ranking it better, but it's all personal preference. But like I said, they are pretty much around the same quality-wise. George Miller has delivered another fantastic movie. I'm very happy for him and the team surrounding this movie. And I would say I really want to see him as the next Thor director. He was talking about that, and now that he's worked with Chris Hemsworth, let's make it happen. I think he would make a great Thor movie, but let's just wait and see. Maybe Marvel Studios will hire him, maybe they won't. Time will tell. But yeah, that is my review for Furiosa. It was a great film. Definitely recommend to go check it out in theaters, hopefully even in IMAX. It really makes the experience a lot better. If you have seen the movie, let me know down below in the comments what you thought about it, and do you think it is better than Mad Max Fury Road? Thanks for watching again, guys. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video.